I'm not sure what time it is where you are, but here it's a morning, beautiful morning in Arizona, and I have been really cooking on this idea of proclaiming oneself. So I think it's super important because our thoughts, our feelings are truly powerful beyond measure. And I made a video before about the fact that when we're sitting up investing and committed and putting our money, which is energy, towards things that we may not appreciate or like for entertainment purposes, things that we wouldn't appreciate or like to show up in our reality, right? So we really don't want a clown to come out of nowhere and murder our family. Or we don't want to open our door to a bunch of people that are going to come in and rob our house and torture our children. We don't want these things, but yet we invest in some of those things, and we put our time and energy into those things. Well, I also want to talk about the fact that with that a person's own energy, their own belief system about themselves is powerful. It is hugely impactful, not only on their life, but it can impact the world around them of those that are not intentionally fueling their life the same way. And so in that manner, I think it's really important that we start really focusing on the fact that everything is given to us with clarity if we're open to the messages and we're open to the cues and the being able to read what's coming, because there's cycles and there's things that are happening all around us that are constantly speaking to us from a bigger energy, a bigger source, saying, hey, wake up, or hey, good job, or hey, watch out, or hey, wow, look at this opportunity coming, grab it, grab it, grab it. But we don't always recognize that. We don't always, we may not always see the fact that that's taking place. So I want to just kind of think about a couple people that have just kind of been mulling around in my mind, especially this morning. One, somebody who's very self-proclaimed is Alexander the Great, right? Or another person, Hitler. These individuals proclaim themselves as great. They proclaim their own vision as the only vision, as the one vision. But they also did a lot of ugly things to the world outside of them to get their place in power. They didn't do it in a space of love and celebration. They did it in a space of ego, in a space of like my way or no way versus collectively, let's create a community that is powerful. So when you look at individuals that went to another place, went to another place, started attacking the people of the land and telling them that the way that they were living was not acceptable or wasn't as powerful and as important as the way they were living, they then removed the dominion and the will of the people that they were conquering by taking over and creating new laws, new rules. When we start to really look at what that means, and when we start to understand that when somebody comes into your house and they say the way you're living, the way you're doing things is not acceptable, and they remove all of your traditions, all of your celebrations, all of your history, and all of your understandings and connections to that which breathes you, you lose power. It's the same thing that has happened over and over again. So whether it's on a very small scale where you're in a classroom and somebody's telling you, excuse me, the way you think, the way you are isn't acceptable, or if it's on a grand scale where you have a leader or somebody in power that is making making comments or changing rules and laws that take the rights away from those that are their equals to control or to make sure they have power over, we have to look at that. We have to be aware of what the bigger picture is. We have to see the signs. I'm a big person on the fact that when we return to our natural state, in terms of being grateful, seeing God in all things. You know, I'm sitting in this vehicle right now. It is a God tool or a spirit tool. It just has a very low amount of that kind of energy flowing through because it's solid. So it's a lower vibrating item on this planet, but it's still a molecule. I'm literally sitting in a molecule, and I'm a molecule that is vibrating at a much higher level with much more God or spirit or universe pumping through me in a living sense. So when I recognize that, then I can sit up and say, wow, you know what? I have power to really be something much more than a car that is pretty much going to be a car, unless taken under pressure and heat, it can be changed into something else. But I have the ability to create anything in who I am and be who I want to be. Like, I literally could go be a stripper right now. I literally could go be a doctor right now. I literally could go be an astronaut right now. I literally could go be a race car driver. I literally could be a drug addict. I could become a murderer. I could become a dog walker. I could become a pizza delivery person. I could be an exceptional mom. Oh no, well, I already am an exceptional mom. But I can become whatever it is that I choose to become. Like, literally, that is within me. The minute I'm thinking about who I am, what I want, these things are starting to happen. These things are starting to take place and take form, and doors are starting to open because I am saying, this is who I am. I am proclaiming it. And in myself, oh gosh, I can't even say it. In proclaiming this for self, literally, I'm opening the door to be whatever it is that I see myself as. So if I see myself as wealthy and dynamic and somebody that can lead the masses into healing and understanding and understanding of self, to be powerful and to be on the cusp of the shift that is taking place planetary, I don't know. Anyways, if I see myself as somebody that is a leader in this area, then I become a leader in that area because I'm doing the things necessary to ensure that I am. And on the flip side, if I see myself as somebody that does not sell children and does not attack and hurt animals, that won't be a part of my reality because that's not part of my world. But I think it's really important to understand that if that comes into my existence, where I'm hearing about people doing horrific things to children and horrific things to each other, it's not because I'm somehow creating it possibly myself, but it is part of the collective consciousness, and it is part of the collective understanding, and that I am a part of. So that does reside in me. And so my willingness to cuss somebody out that pulls in front of me, maybe a small portion of that purge that we're seeing that is ramping through the states. My willingness to look at another person and be like, yeah, okay, they say they live there, but I don't think they live there. That's another part of the judgment that is separating me from another person that has these little children in cages down at the border. I mean, we're all part of it. We just may not be on a larger scale participating, but it is a part of who we are, because if it's happening over here, then it's happening in here. And so becoming aware of what's happening in here so we can be more powerful about what's going on out there is part of the answer. So today I invite you to look at some of the things that you're doing. Really pay attention. Where are you spreading love? Where are you not? Where do you need to do some healing? Where are you giving some awesome support? Take a second to really evaluate who you are. And I say that with love.